You know, subject of this or the title of it is your 31 to 60 day old cars are going to define how your year ends. So here's what I'm finding. We're seeing a lot of things slowing down in a lot of dealerships. A lot of them are holding on to pricing. The reason why I'm pointing out your 30 to 60 and why I think it's going to define the rest of your year, those cars right now, here we are mid-October, the 30-day-old car is going to be 60-day-old car going into November 15th. You're going right into the holidays of Thanksgiving, rolling right into Christmas. And those cars, if you're not starting to make adjustments right now on those cars to get them gone by then, you're going to be in a hope and hold mode, or hope and change mode. I always called it the Obama strategy because he ran on the hope and change mantra. And dealerships right now, the reason like the 30 and 45-day-old cars are scaring me to death, because I'm seeing a lot of dealerships inventory bloating there, meaning they've already bled through 0 to 15 because we're taking too long to get photos and descriptions to get done. Then they get in the 16 to 30. You go, give it another week or two. I just got my pictures done, and the market's still strong, or replacing the car is still pretty high right now. And they're hard to come by. And then by day 30, you go, you know what? It's not age yet. Let's give it a little bit more time. And but by then to me, day 30 is your serious mode. If the cars aren't gone, because again, directionally, you want to carry what you sell what you carry. You can pull that off, okay? And you don't have to give up gross by doing that. We talk about our first 30 strategy for years is increase gross by increasing the amount of cars you sell in the first 30 days, okay? Because that's where the gross is, okay? The market of appreciating asset right now in used cars is gone. They're depreciating right now, month after month, wholesale and retail, and soon even more on retail, because dealers are going to need to flood out some cash flow, and they're going to need to start letting these cars go. Same with banks at the lane and everything. These floors are going to disappear here soon, because if anybody's going to take a loss, they're going to take for the end of the year and use it as a write-off. So we're going to go into a transition of November, December, where I think a lot of these numbers start dropping. And again, this 30-day-old car then turns 60 in November, rolling into December and stuff. Winter's here. Shopper counts are lower than they have been all year, traditionally year over year. So if you're not pulling the trigger, I'm seeing a big bloated amount of inventory sitting at 30 to 60 days old. And again, we just did a university yesterday. The people that attended the meeting openly admit, they're holding out because they're, again, going back to the Obama strategy, hope and change. You're either hoping somebody comes in and overpays for this car, the market changes and it becomes more valuable again. And it's just not going to happen. And as you hold on to these cars, it's going to define the way the rest of the year goes. Now, you could continue to maybe get volume, but you have to blow these things out, and your grosses are going to deteriorate. You're going to start taking some big losses. But obviously, there's still buyers in the market. There's going to be people looking for it, but they're looking for good deals right now. They know the headlines. They've seen it. They're feeling the pinch at their electric bill, at the grocery store. They're feeling the pinch everywhere. And so they're going to be very selective. They're sick of overpaying for stuff right now, and vehicles are going to be included in that. And then until they have to replace that car, and even if they just want not have to replace a vehicle or buy a vehicle, they're going to be very selective, finding the right mileage, the right equipment at the right price, and they're going to take time. So it also goes into lead management follow-up. By that time, you have a 30 to 60-day-old lead. A lot of departments have given up on those leads, are barely contacting them, stretching that contact ratio out. By the time it's 40 days old, you're lucky if your department's contacting them once a week, every other week at that, because that's how CRMs are set up. CRMs are set up to engage with customers based on the age of the lead. But again, let's act like you have a 45-day-old car and you have 5 leads on it, and your 45-day bucket's bleeding through. You're not selling enough out of this middle bucket that I'm talking about right now. I just was looking at one of our bigger stores here. They've got a big bloated amount of inventory sitting in there, and they need to increase their sales out of that based on how many cars are sitting there and based on their last 2 weeks sale rate. And I times that by 4. So let's just say there's 100 cars sitting there in that 31 to 45 bucket. They've sold 20 in the last 2 weeks. That only puts them on pace to sell 40 in a 4-week period. They got 60 units they need to sell to increase that sell rate to cover what's there. There's 100 units there. They're only on pace to sell 40. They got to increase their sales out of that bucket by 60 units. You go look at the leads. And again, think about it. If you're 60 units shy selling out of that bucket, or even if you're 10 units high because you have 30 in stock and only on pace to sell 20, you got to increase that sale rate. So do you want to just go drop prices, or do you want to talk to people who might have already been looking at these cars? Well, let's call and email these leads. Well, how often would you want to call and email those leads? Well, every day, every other day, so I can get that sale rate up. But guess what? Your CRM or BDC is not engaged to do that. Okay, they didn't know 31 to 45 age bucket's a problem. They can't even isolate those leads in their CRM anyways. And then even at that, the way we follow up with leads and CRMs is based on the age of the lead. Spread it out because it's an older lead. Well, if I got a 45-day-old car with a 35-day-old lead, my CRM, I only say we call them once a week, every other week. I should be calling and emailing them every day because I need to get these cars gone. I'm 60 units shy of my current sale rate of what's sitting there, or 10 units, whatever that is. Okay, so that middle bucket right now is going to be your Achilles heel going into the rest of this year. If you're not addressing those cars, isolating those leads, calling and emailing those leads as frequently as possible, maybe adjusting pricing if you need to get them moving, just go look at them. Go look at your 30 to 60 day bucket. Go pull up a 40-day-old car that you haven't changed the price in 7 to 14 days. I guarantee you've gone up 1 or 2 to 3% in price to market, meaning you were at 100%, now you're at 101, or you're at 97%, you're at 99% now, or you're at 95%, you're at 96% now. Go look at them. Okay, the market's moving. They're starting to adjust pricing, but are you? And then even at that, even if you were at 95 and now you're at 97, you drop at $500, you go back to 95, and 95 didn't work for 7 to 10 days, or maybe it did and you got leads, but you didn't follow up with them, right? So all you're doing is position percentage of market back to where it was that may or may not work before. So I'm telling you, you're going to have to dig into this. Side note, we do help dealers with that. We work with dozens of CRMs. We work with different inventory management with tools. We combine it. If you have a 31 to 45 age bucket problem, you're bleeding through, well, we can help you isolate those leads, find the leads we have in contact, and call and email them every day. We're not selling enough large pickup trucks. We got 30 in stock, only on pace to sell 20. We got to increase the amount of sales we do in large pickup trucks. Well, let's call and email every large pickup truck lead we have and call them every day, every other day to get these trucks moving. But again, right now, the way your systems are set up is based on the age of the lead, not the situation of the lot and its ship. If you want help, hopefully this was helpful. Again, check out your 31 to 60 bucket. It's going to define the rest of your year. Obviously, the cars you're buying today will be aged in December. So those cars obviously are going to be age defined too. Because I'm finding a lot of dealers have an age problem, and all they're doing is trying to chip away these aged cars, blowing them out, wholesale them, running the lane. And they're not really looking at that 10 or 40-day-old car. But they will in November and December, where it's going to be even harder to get off these cars. So focus on the middle bucket, or at least 15 to 45, 15 to 60 range, and get those moving, and then start chipping away at age. If you'd like more information, lotpop.com. Hope this tip was helpful.